Welcome to another episode of Binford Chronicles. I'm back and I am in the ring. That's right, we're in the ring, and I wanted to talk about Swila, Curtis Swila in New York. And we need to support Curtis Swila. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic today is we've got a lot of Republicans on the other side just coming to a concession that, hey, we need to vote for Cuomo. And I want to make it clear, that's the problem with us, is we say, hey, we think the other person's going to win if we have a three-way race. No, listen, guys, we need to stand our ground. We need to support the Republican nominee. We need to support especially Swila. If you've been from New York, I was born and raised in New York. I moved out when I want to say 21, 22. And things were getting crazy over there. And I just was at that age where I wanted to find a partner. I wanted to get married, wanted to raise kids. And I didn't want to marry somebody from New York because I could not find a man with that same strong conservative value principle system that I had. So I needed to move out of New York. But I love New York. New York was a great place to grow up as a young child in my time because it wasn't as crazy as it was. It had its issues. And that's where Swila came into play. He was a young guy working his own life, but he loved New York, and he came up with this idea, look, we need to start protecting people on the subways. Let's do it. I love this city, love these people. And that's what he did. I literally can remember we had, we used to go to the skating rink, the local roller skating rink, and there were this black gang groups coming into, and I lived in Woodside and Astoria, Queens. So if you guys are out there from Astoria, Queens, or Woodside, Queens, or even Jackson Heights, those are the three main towns that I grew up in. First, it was Jackson Heights as a little girl. Then my mom bought a house in Woodside, and then I went to live with my dad in Astoria, Queens. And we used to go to the local roller skating rink, and these black gangs started coming into our neighborhoods and harassing kids. We used to hang out at the park after the rink, and they would just come and start literally creating chaos and beating people up, stealing from people, hurting people. We had the Hells Angels that came in, and then Swila was taking over the subways and protecting people on the subways. This was a time that I can remember because I was young, and things were happening that we used to walk all over town, and it was getting to the point where you didn't want to walk alone by yourself. But it did get better. I remember being all over. I used to walk all the way up to Maspeth. If anybody's from Queens, New York, you know where Maspeth is, and I used to go hang out up there. Um, so I really wanted to support Swila because I know he loves New York City. He loves all the boroughs. He loves you, the citizens of New York, and he's going to fight for you. And let me remind you, New York is not a hardcore conservative state. It's more of a moderate conservative Republican state, and that's right where Swila is. That's what New York needs. He's still going to have some of those flexible, I call them democratic views, but he's going to be strong on crime. He's going to be strong on all the things that you need: work, shop classes, all that stuff. He's going to be strong in the areas that the New Yorkers need him to be strong in. I would love to see Swila win this race because it's going to prove all those darn Republicans that are taking the easy road, right? Oh, we've got to support Cuomo, who's really a hardcore Democrat. We already know that, and we saw that. All those Republicans that are doing that are making a huge mistake. What they should be doing is putting all their energy into Swila right now, promoting him 24/7. Rob Schmidt had Swila on, and I was insulted to hear Rob Schmidt's from Newsmax, to hear how he doubted Swila. He doubted the race. And you know who's making the race, putting the race in doubt? Republicans that are doing what Rob Schmidt are doing. We need to get behind Swila. We know he's a good man. We know he loves the city. He's a smart man. He knows how to mobilize people. So let's move on. I wanted to show you some sound bites that we've got, and we can talk about this. It's a little bit early this morning, so I'll be surprised if I see any comments. But these sound bites, I want you to really think about what's going on. So let's move on to the next sound bite, which is going to be Cuomo and Ma'am Dammy.
Candidate in the Democratic primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he
Hold on.
to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city.
Let me make this clear. He is focusing on Muslims. In what debate have you ever heard anyone say, have you gone to my Baptist church? Have you gone to my Catholic church? Have you gone to my Hebrew church? Have you gone to my Hindu church? No. This is about Muslims, and Muslims, we're talking about Islam. We're talking about things that are happening in Dearborn, Michigan. There are over 1 million Islamic groups in New York City, Islamic people. Excuse me, let me change that. Not groups, but people. The population of Islam is over 1 million people. That's why you see all these organized Palestinians in the street. You see all these Hamas flags. You even see Islamic flags in the streets. This is a turning point for New York. Either you're going to save New York and vote for Swila, who is proven to know, who has a proven history since 1979 to be a protector of New York citizens, to be involved in the cities. This man has given his life, his heart, his soul, his blood, his tears for New Yorkers. And here you have somebody that's not even been here more than 7 years, doesn't, if he's Islamic, Sharia law comes before the Constitution. If he's Muslim, let me tell you this, all you LGBTQ people that are in the streets right now for Hamas and Palestine and pushing the narrative that these Islamics want you to push, go to Dearborn, Michigan. Go to Dearborn, Michigan, because there is footage out there of Islamic people telling the LGBTQ to get out of their protests because they're not welcome in their protests. So a vote for Ma'am Danny is a vote for Islam, is a vote for Sharia law. That's what's happening. And women out there, if you think that you're going to be okay wearing a hijab, because that's what it leads to. Once that number grows, you're not going to see any Americanism. You think you have a voice now? You will not have a voice under Islam. Women are just an object to Islamic men, the Islamic culture, Sharia law. Read the read all the surahs in the Quran. You will learn that you are a worthless being as a woman. You do not have choice. You do not have free speech. Under Sharia, you can have it now for the purpose of jihad. And what is jihad? That is the conversion of everybody. That is the conversion of the world. Jihad is the conversion of the world to Islam. So let me let you finish hearing him talk. Okay.
And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except that is totally false. I worked with a Muslim community.
I reject Islam. Islam is antithetical to the Constitution. I don't need to visit a mosque. And you know what? I kind of want to visit a mosque because they spend millions of dollars on their mosques. The chandeliers alone come from like Turkey. They're beautiful. The mosques are literally beautiful inside. I've seen them through videos. Do your research. But I reject Islam. I reject these mosques being in the United States, because what we're doing is we're allowing them to indoctrinate their children, which they are having, by the way, 6 kids to one of our kids. Just do the math. 6 kids to one of our kids is being indoctrinated into Sharia law, which is antithetical to the Constitution. Let's go back to the soundbite.
Community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here. They were
before I was here.
Before you were even in state government. I worked with the Muslim community. Yeah. Imams presided over.
I wouldn't even entertain this argument. The first thing he should be saying is Islam is antithetical to the Constitution. We're not here to talk about visiting your mosque. We're not here to talk about visiting religion. Our Constitution has the freedom of religion, but those are peaceful religions. The Islamic religion is a governance that is violent. It is violent. And if you don't believe that, then your head is in the sand. I couldn't believe this went on as long as it did. New Yorkers, you should be seeing this. Come on, we're trying to punch it out here, but it's a waste of time to have this discussion right now.
Of the states, we worked in religious working groups, tolerance groups, anti-Semitic groups, etc.
All right, gentlemen.
Candidate in the Democratic primary.
I don't know about you, but I could care less if any of the candidates went to visit a mosque. It really doesn't make a difference to me if they visit a mosque or not. What makes it different to me is the Constitution, our republic, and the policies that they're going to put in place for us. I want to keep my sovereignty, don't you? Let's check out Cuomo here. Not Cuomo. We're going to check out a message from Swila, who we need to put all of our energy behind Swila. He is the lifeline of New York. Let's play this.
I just got off the debate stage. I won the debate again. But this is a battle. Up until November 4th, we got to get the vote out. We've got to start early voting this Saturday. I'm going to be the first to vote because our mission that I've shared with all of you is to make New York City safe again, to have affordability again, and naturally to give everyone an opportunity at the American dream. But the only way we can do that is if you come out and vote. You get your friends and neighbors and others to vote. And you got to start Saturday with early voting right on up to November 4th. We can win this. We can save this city. And we can prove the naysayers, billionaires, and influencers wrong. Because I'm not dropping out. We're moving to be victorious on November 4th.
Now, listen. Curtis has got his boxing gloves on. He is not going to give up, and that's New York spirit. New York doesn't step back. New York doesn't give up. When you love a city and you have passion for something, you're not going to quit just because of the polls. Now, listen, remember the polls, they are not real. They're going to favor everything that they want you to believe. They're not going to show you how Swila is really doing. Those networks aren't going to show the people that are backing Swila because they're going to play with your emotions and they're going to try to get you to feel like turning on the Republican nominee. Oh, we'll vote for the independent. Guys, you know how bad Cuomo was. He's a dirtbag. You know, he killed people's parents. He put a young person in a nursing home with COVID and killed a bunch of parents. Not only did he kill a bunch of people, excuse me, but not only did he hurt and kill a bunch of people in these nursing homes, but they died alone. People were not able to go visit their parents. People had their parents in hospitals and nursing homes looking at them behind a glass window. Don't forget this. Swila is the lifeline is the lifeline of New York. Save New York and vote Swila. Save it. Vote Swila. You will not go wrong by saving New York with Swila as your vote. Make sure and spread his name. Talk about him all the time, all the great things that he's done.
Curtis, my name is Robert Graves. I'm retired NYPD 35 years. I know who you are. You're doing a great job and you're going to win.
Curtis, I'm voting for you. Good luck in the debate on Wednesday. I love your policy on no property tax for senior citizens who don't make money anymore. You're going to clean up the city. You're tough on crime.
The reason why I would vote for Mr. Curtis, he's a bona fide person.
I love you. I'm going to vote for you. Good luck on Wednesday. You the best.
Good luck on the debates on Wednesday. Curtis Swila all the way, 2025. Let's do this.
Mr. Curtis, my name is Justin. I'm from Forest Hills. I'm rooting for you for the debate on Wednesday. I can't wait to see you absolutely crush the other two candidates.
Yeah, Curtis, I am Wilbur Thomas. I live on Basil Boulevard. I am voting for you. You know why? You speak the truth. The socialist is promising everything for free. But when he get there and can't deliver, the people going to say, we know he took that. But away with the socialists and with Curtis, Curtis will win.
That's how we stand behind the Republican candidate. That's how we save New York. Nobody's showing you all this. You need to go on to his X page. You need to go on certain Truth Social pages. You need to go on Rumble. They're not showing this in the media because, again, they want to alter your vote. And Cuomo is just going to be sold out, and Islam has a lot of money. And they will put the pressure on him and he'll cave. This man is not about the people. He's already proven that to you guys. Take your vote from Cuomo and give it to Swila. You must give it to Swila if you want to save New York. New York is doomed under Mamdani. Who knows Mamdani? Where did this man come from? And this is what happens. They train. They're indoctrinated to go into office. I'm telling you, if you look around the nation, there are more and more Muslim Islamics running for office. Why? The goal is to change laws so that the antithetical Islam to our Constitution becomes the law of the land. I'm telling you guys, if you don't fight for New York, you're going to lose it. And people will leave New York. And it won't surprise me if Mamdani wins and he puts into law some expense, some tax that causes people a heartache to move their businesses from New York to other states, because he will do what he can to trap you, to hold you in, to chain you to New York. So he makes it difficult for you to leave, and he takes over with Sharia law. We're talking about a whole change of culture here. What culture do you want? Do you want the free-spirited, conservative, moderate New York City, where you still have some of your social programs, but you still have constitutional living? What do you want? New York's different than other states, than Florida. We're more constitutional and red, and we really don't want the moderate thinkers here. We really don't. We want to keep it liberty, sovereignty, the republic. We don't call, at least true Republicans don't call America a democracy, because we're not. We're a republic. So let's go to this next sound bite, and I bet you will recognize this person. It is Joe Pags speaking truth.
Let Mamdani win. What is this freak out about backing Andrew Cuomo, who was pushed out as the governor, just to hand him the golden ticket of be the mayor of New York? No. If New Yorkers aren't smart enough to vote for the one guy who's the right guy, and by the way, I haven't talked to Curtis about this. I'm not being paid to do this. Curtis Swila is the only guy who should be even considered, who's still in the running right now, who has a chance. Andrew Cuomo should drop out and tell all of his people to back Curtis Swila. Anybody who's thinking about voting for Mamdani, you're going to get what you vote for. And there are some of you radical enough who want a socialist, communist, far left-leaning progressive nut job to be your next mayor, God bless you. Have him as your next mayor. Let New York be the lesson to the rest of the country that you can't be blind, close your eyes, and allow these things to happen. Everybody who employs anybody in that city will leave the city. Everybody who's paying all these high through-the-nose taxes will be gone. It'll be a ghost town. It will no longer be the number one city population-wise in this country. Go ahead and elect Mamdani. Don't dare tell Curtis Swila, a man who since 1979 has been the leader of the Guardian Angels, out there putting his life on the line for the city of New York. Don't tell him to get out. What are you thinking? And listen, a lot of people who are telling him to get out, I like a lot. Some of you are my friends. Some of you I hold in very high regard, and this doesn't change my opinion of you, but really use your brain. Unless you've got 100% turnout by every Republican in the city, you don't have an argument. You should be out there hitting the streets, insisting that those who are registered should go and vote for Curtis Swila. Give it to Andrew Cuomo, who probably still doesn't have a chance. Let Mamdani win. Let them learn the lesson they should learn, and it'll never happen again. Mark my words. Come on.
You know, I'm really happy I found this soundbite because this is exactly how I feel. Look, don't ask Swila to drop out. You should be pushing everybody to say, we know what Cuomo gave you. We know what he has to bring to the table. Take your votes and put them behind Swila. You also know who Swila is. Swila loves New York, loves New Yorkers, loves the city, has been involved with so many people. And same here, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm an ex-New Yorker. I left New York and I now live here in Florida. But I know Swila because I was there when I was a little girl when Swila was there. I was skating in the skating rinks. I experienced some of the bullying that was going on in the subways. They had to shut my skating rink down and bring the Hells Angels and all these other groups to come clean up the fighting and the threats that we were getting from these black gangs in New York City. Let New York figure it out. Either you guys want your sovereignty, you guys are going to recognize the people that love New York, that are going to fight for New York, and Swila is not going to put his gloves down. He's going to keep fighting for New York. He's fighting for you. So you need to fight for him. If you really believe in New York, if you believe in this republic, if you believe in liberty and opportunity, and some of the programs that Swila supports to help support the people of New York City, I think it's a great idea not to tax the retired. They've already worked their whole entire life, and we've all seen it. It's getting more expensive and more expensive to live, especially in cities like New York and California. And when you retire, you just don't get a raise. You're on a fixed income. So these are very important things that he's talking about. Put your energy behind Swila. Take your vote from Cuomo. You know, if Cuomo stays in this race, he's going to stay in this race to support Mamdani because it'll be too late. I've already seen these three-way races where the person pulls out, but people don't always check on that person's page. So they still end up voting for him. They still think he's in the race, and it'll be too late to pull him off the ballot. He'll be on the ballot. And once his name is on the ballot, it's going to screw up the whole race. So everybody, put your vote in Swila. Keep it there. That's it. Move to Swila if you really love New York. I love New York. I won't go back because I don't have that big city girl feel. I like the countryside. I like the smaller towns. I like, backyard living. You don't really have a backyard in New York City. Maybe if you live up in the mountains or if you live out in Long Island. But even Long Island is now starting to get pretty busy, and it's just too much for me. I like to be able to take a moment for self-care and sit in my yard and enjoy the weather, the flowers, the yard. Total different living for me. So I got another sound bite which really triggered me to do this video, and it's because I really like Robert Schmidt, but I really was disappointed in this sound bite I'm about to share with you.
All right, so the Ackmans of the world are afraid that Swila is taking the vote away from Cuomo, which is what all the polls indicate. A new one from City AARP in Gotham showing that if Swila drops out, the Republican drops out, you got 44-40 Mamdani versus Cuomo. It gets really close. But as it remains right now tonight, Mamdani gets 43%, Cuomo falls to 28%, and Swila at 19 points. Curtis Swila joins us now, and it's good to have you back on the show, sir. I want to start by saying I'm a fan of yours. I like your politics. I like you. But I also have to live in this damn city. And as much as I do respect your politics, it does feel like right now in a three-way race that we're just walking right into a...
This is what you're getting from media. I'm so disappointed in Rob Schmidt. I love watching him, but so disappointed because we're getting complacent now. We're saying, oh, well, we're going to win. Guess what? It doesn't matter, because when you get Cuomo, you're getting bad. When you get Mandami, you're also getting bad. So New York needs to pull their weight and vote correctly. If you don't vote correctly, then you need to take accountability for what's about to happen to that state. And I warn you guys, if you don't go behind Swila, it doesn't matter if Cuomo stays on the ballot or not. It doesn't matter if Swila dropped out. If your vote was still in Cuomo, he still wasn't going to win against Swila, because right now there's over 1 million Muslims following Sharia law in New York, and they're all going to get out and vote for Mamdani, which says a lot, because New Yorkers, your percentage in voting in the general elections and in the primaries is low. So this is your fight. This is your battle. You need to get out there and you need to vote for the right candidate. And Swila is a lifeline of New York. I can't say it enough.
Weeks away.
Well, Rob, it's the Democrats who created that. They made Zoran Mamdani. Andrew Cuomo lost to him decisively in the primary, and now you're thinking that Andrew Cuomo can be the savior. I'm sorry. I am the Republican candidate. I had 30,000 people who signed up to qualify me to be the second major party candidate. And I am the law and order candidate, of which Andrew Cuomo is the architect.
But what?
And Zoran Mamdani is the apprentice to no cash bail, raise the age, burn criminals loose from Rikers Island. So again, I am the legitimate Republican Party candidate. Major party candidates don't drop out for independents who are losers to begin with.
You see Rob's face? He's totally going to vote for Cuomo. Rob, do not vote for Cuomo. Vote for Swila. Do not make the mistake and vote for Cuomo. That is the complacency that Republicans have when they feel like, oh, it's such a battle. Get your fighting gloves on and take it to the ballot box. Vote for Swila. You know he's the right man. Why are you giving in just because it's a three-way race? You can crush a three-way race by saying, I'm not voting for that middle guy. I'm voting for Swila. Vote for the right man. Let's finish and hear what Rob has to say. And again, I love Rob, but I'm not in agreement with him here.
I understand that, but what do you say then to this polling that indicates that if you're the one that drops out because you're in third place right now, that a lot of it does move to Cuomo? At least it's a chance. Right now, I as much as I like you, I don't think this is not a conservative city. I like you, but most people in this city don't like you, and I just don't want to just walk right into the Mamdani administration and tear this place apart and have all the crime.
Rob, let's get real here. The most unlikable person in this race, according to the polls that you want to believe in, by the way, that were wrong during the primary, that had Andrew Cuomo up by 40 percentage points over Zoran Mamdani, who beat him decisively. His unfavorability is Andrew Cuomo. People don't like him. He killed the people, 15,000 he never apologized for. He's responsible for the crime crisis. He can't reinvent himself. We'll have another debate tomorrow night, and we will discuss the issues. And I whooped him and Zoran in the first debate. You saw that, Rob.
Yeah, I thought you performed well. It was an interesting debate. I think most of the attention was on the other two. I just wondered, do you think that you can win I mean, tell me you really believe that you can win and that you're not just trying to, if we get a communist for the next 4 years, you're in a better position because we're going to swing back the other way in 20.
What an insult. I really felt this insult. Like, he's saying now that Swila is in the race, knowing that he's going to lose, but he's just going to stay in the race so that New Yorkers can bite themselves in the ass for voting, for allowing Ma'am Dammy to win so that he can come back the following election and everybody vote for him because now they realize they were wrong. That is the ultimate insult to Swila, who has worked his entire life for the better of New York. I can't say enough how wrong that statement was by Rob. And it just goes to show you, if you're a Republican and you're on the same playing field as Rob, that's what's destroying the Republican Party. You don't know when to stand behind the right candidate. You're willing to be, and you'll hear him say it, pragmatic. Well, pragmatic doesn't fix things. No way. Would you be in war with a guy that acts like this? Does he really have your back? I'm just so upset about that comment that he made. And I got to tell you, I love watching Rob Schmidt on Newsmax, but this really burned me when he did that.
Because that's what I think I'm most concerned about.
Rob, let me be very clear for you and everybody out there. I know I can win. I'm out in the streets. Your guy, Andrew Cuomo, hasn't been on the campaign trail for 10 days. Look at the New York Post article about that. You can't win an election unless you're out in the streets flushing flesh. All he's got is the billionaires. Have the billionaires been right yet? Be honest. Have they been right yet?
They haven't been right, but I get it. Listen, I like you. I get it. I'm also common sense. It's frickin' New York, and you're a Republican. I mean, it's like, how the hell do you win in this city as a Republican?
Excuse me, did Rudy Giuliani win?
Long time ago.
Did he win in 93? Did a guy, George Pataki, that nobody knew beat the better Cuomo Mario the next year? On the day of the election, he was 14 points down George Pataki. There was no early voting. He beat Mario Cuomo, the better Cuomo, by 3 percentage points. I'm supposed to have faith in polls that have been wrong every step of the way, and billionaires who should focus on Wall Street because they know nothing about the streets of New York City. Rob, I'm the candidate. Whether people like it or not, they can vote for me or they might not vote for me. But I believe you trust the people to make the decision. I never heard of this before. One person, one vote, but we let the billionaires decide and everybody else drops out. Is that democracy, Rob?
No, I don't disagree with a lot of the points you're making. I'm just trying to be pragmatic about saving this city from this idiot communist that's going to roll in here in 2 weeks.
Well, you know what? Tell Andrew Cuomo to go out and start campaigning and get his vote out because he's now all dependent on me. What does that say about a campaign? That you can't even get your own vote out, you're not in the streets, and you're depending on billionaires who have been wrong every step of the way.
Trust me, I'm not a fan of Andrew Cuomo. I don't know how he lost that primary, and here he is trying to keep up now. We'll leave it there.
You know how he lost the primary? Yeah. In his own words, I didn't campaign hard enough, and he's doing exactly the same thing again. Look, he had his shot. He's one and done. It's me versus Zoran Mandami. We have energy. We're going door to door. We have a get out the vote effort. I haven't seen anything of a Cuomo get out the vote effort. So I'm supposed to drop out for a loser who destroyed the state, and you want me to give him an opportunity to put the last nail in the coffin and destroy New York City too. It's not going to happen. Let the people decide who the next mayor is.
Good fight. You know, everybody's...
You heard it right from Rob Schmidt's lips. I don't know how he lost that primary when he was talking about Cuomo. That is what's destroying this Republican Party, is people who say they're conservatives, but they're willing to give in the towel when the evidence is in front of them. Cuomo lost a primary. He lost a primary, and he will lose the general election. So stop focusing on Cuomo in the race and put all your weight behind Swila. Don't be a Cuomo, vote Swila. Vote Swila because he is a lifeline of New York. And that's my word of the day. Have a great Tuesday. And here's my last message for you guys before we end the show. Thank you for joining us again. Share, share, share.